Hello captains, it's Kent again and welcome to the flight show. So nothing really special here, just felt like doing a flight from San Francisco or KSFO down to San Diego, KSAN. So I thought I would just post a video and going through all the motions. Maybe you'll show off the aircraft, just hanging out and having some fun. Thought I'd post a video. Nothing too crazy going on. So why don't we just go ahead and get started. We're in the cockpit, so we will turn on our beacon to let people know we are here. And we will go ahead and start setting up. So we'll load our flight plan, which I've already created. And that would be KSFO to KSAN. So let's see. Where is it? FO to SAN? There we go. Got it in there. And this will be United Airlines. So United Airlines. The number I like to use is 368. Don't ask me why. So that's our flight. Okay, just to add a little light here, let's go ahead and get the dome on. And also our panel. And our backlight. There we go. Now life is illuminated. Okay, so we are going to do our departure. We will be departing on runway 28 right. So that's right here. And our SID will be Wesley. What is that? Wesla 3. Should be the last. There it is. Wesla 3. And there is no transition, so that works out well. And we'll activate that. And
pre-flight checklist.
okay, so the announcements have begun. So we'll have 5% fuel. Fuel cost is 40, though I don't know if that's officially United's, but that's what we're rolling with. And we will not going very high. Our flight planner gave us flight level of 17,000 feet.
For customers seated in a row of seats
right there.
identified by the words "No children this row,"
and we
the
will derate our climb and go to takeoff.
Once airborne, you will be
I don't know why that's been jumping to page 2 lately. I don't know. So speeds is 157 at takeoff. So that's all set up. Let's go set this up for checklists. Pre-flight oxygen's tested. Flight instruments heading. We have
Ladies and gentlemen, from the flight deck, this is your captain. We'd like to add our welcome aboard today's flight. We're just finishing up our last-minute paperwork, and once we've done that, we'll push back. We're estimating an on-time departure. In the cabin today are some of our finest flight attendants who are there for your comfort, but most of all for your safety, so we ask that you give them undivided attention whenever requested. Once again, thanks for flying with us. Sit back and relax, and I'll update you on our progress once we're aboard.
Okay, so now that we've got that friendly bit of announcements out of the way, I'm looking here, just checking out our navs. We'll set up our star for approach when we're airborne for right now. So we will go to 2000. We have to be at 2000 or above by this waypoint from Wesley waypoint. That's fine. So I'm just going to go ahead. And since we're not going to use ATC for this, we're just going to have an initial climb to 12,000 feet and then go up to 17. So I think everything is in order here. So let's just take a look outside. As you can see, they're doing the last of the boarding right now. I do not know where my SODE gates are. They disappeared right before I started filming, and I really didn't feel like taking the time to reboot all this. So just pardon the fact that there are no gates over there. They were there. They looked good, but, you know, always some bugs you got to work out. But things are looking good. We're almost ready. So what else can I be doing here now that I think about it? All of this seems ready to go and ready for pushback, so nothing too much there. Oh, I could set up over here my departure on my electronic flight bag. As a matter of fact, yes, I do need to do fuel and checks such as that. So let's get that going out of the way. Turn right, and we're going south. And we already said that that was Westla. And alright, so I was just getting my electronic flight bag ready over here off screen. But now let's do ahead and do our electronic flight bag in the cockpit. So we'll swing it over here and zoom in. And besides, if you don't have QwalityWings 787, this always is a chance for you to get familiar with the systems. We've already set up our CDU, so you can actually copy it from over there and then say complete. And it'll show you your SIDs or stars for departure and arrival. So let's go ahead and turn these lights on and backlight so I can see over here. And we will be doing, as I mentioned before, Westla departure. So here it is right here. Now for dispatch, we got to get our fuel together. I've already set it, so it should be copied over and ready to go at, let's see, it says 38,000 pounds. What do we have here? 30 total here. 38,430 as far as our fuel weight. That's good. Copy our payload over, which was a full payload. So we are good to go. Set payload, set fuel tanks. So that's taken care of. So we'll just go back to our star. Complete. And guess we go page up from the bottom, right? Yeah, we can do that. Alright, there we go. So we've got our star already on the side here. Let's take a look. Yes, they are done. So let's just go ahead and button this up. Close the cargo, forward cargo, and our doors. Alright. Now, I don't know how long these guys are supposed to take, but I'm not really going to be waiting around for all that because they've been taking forever. So I'm just going to reset position and get ready for pushback. No, we don't want to do that. No. That was an accident. If we leave it alone, it'll probably go away. Good. No, it didn't go away. My bad. Let's do that again. And I accidentally hit that. Reset. Thank you. Now, come on back. And what we want is prepare for pushback. And I guess we'll do American. And we want to do, just checking here, we want to do a nose right, tail left. Alright, so in the meantime, let's do before start checklist. Passenger signs. Passenger signs are on. MCP, that's set.
Taxi route is per ATC instructions. Standard redirect procedures.
These speeds are set.
Via to SID.
CDU pre-flight. We're receiving our briefing right now, so I'm just going to go ahead and say check since he's talking.
Hello, Captain. Here waiting for pushback.
Any questions?
No questions. Technically, that's supposed to be me talking, but hey, who cares? Alright. What did we not close? Oh, door 2. My bad. Alright, so
4-star checklist?
4-star checklist. We've already done it, so that's
We
good.
have just closed the main cabin door. All personal cellular telephones must be turned off and stowed for the duration of the flight.
Locking gear.
Flight attendants
So
will
he is
then
out
off the
there
departure,
doing
cross
his
checks,
thing.
and down by straps.
And as soon as he gets done with that, we will be ready to push back.
Departure check completed. Flight has been inserted. Release parking brake.
Alright.
Commencing push. All engines clear. Start that wheel.
Alright, let's start this bad boy up.
Okay, starting engines.
Alright, so
Once again, ladies and gentlemen, we'd like to welcome
and as you can hear, the announcements are going, so that's
I'd like
cool.
to direct your attention to the flight attendants
He's over there.
safety information about the 787. Your seatbelt should be fastened at this time. It is our policy that you keep your seatbelt
Everything
fastened
seems to
at
be
all
looking
times.
good there.
The 8 exits on the 787 are marked with the exit sign. Please locate the 2 exits nearest
I
you.
really am enjoying this flying the 787. I may have mentioned in one of my reviews that I just didn't quite feel that it was at that PMDG level, but you know, and I couldn't exactly put my finger on as to why, but I'm going to be honest with you. This plane is growing on me. I like flying it. I wish that FS crew would have a assistant crew for it, but no such luck. But I'm enjoying it. So if you are a little intimidated for study level aircraft, I think this is an excellent aircraft to help usher you into the genre. Okay, we're coming back, looking good.
Please help us prepare the cabin by making sure all carry-on baggage is stowed, all seat backs and tray tables are upright, headrests are lowered, and footrests and video.
No one will be flying with us today, so that's fine. Let's go ahead and get all of our lights going
Thank you for choosing to fly with us.
and our taxi lights. Are they on? I think they're on. Couldn't see that too well. Okay, they're on. Good deal. Okay, so now we've got our taxi lights on. Looking, yeah, we're good. He's about to bring us to a halt.
Set parking brakes.
Okay, parking brake is set. And that reminds me, we should be starting our second engine, sitting around looking and amazed at everything. Go ahead and turn that on. Start up engine 2, or engine 1 actually. We started engine 2 already. Come on, guy, we got places to go. Pick it up. I tell you. They're so laid back in California. Really. Alright, so let's go ahead and light up arm our LNAV and our VNAV.
Before taxi checklist.
And we'll do our before taxi checklist. Anti-ice not needed. Recall check. Brake RTO. Flight controls check. Ground equipment is not clear yet. So I'll let him do his thing.
Tow truck disconnected. Flight must be removed.
Okay. So we can go ahead and clear that check. Ground equipment clear. Alright, we will move to a flaps 5. Alright, engine started. So what do we have here in our warning lights? Okay, from control, so these need to be turned off. We can go ahead and turn off the APU. And
Left is clear.
let's
Right
look
is
here.
clear.
Can't see my warnings from here. Let me drop down. And TCAS is off, so let's go ahead and put that on. We're not going to be using air traffic control today, so I'm not going to worry about that. But, we got a good trip. So, we are ready to rock. Alright. You guys get out the way, and we will taxi to runway 28 right. Get out of the way. Get out of the way. He's ready to rock. I have to say that Flightbeam's SFO airport scenery is, bar none, just one of the most excellently detailed airports in Flight Simulator. I mean, don't make me say who the absolute best is, but this is just, I love this airport. It's just so detailed. It's not my favorite airport just personally, but I've only been to this airport maybe 3 times in my life, but it's just a beautifully rendered airport, you know, maybe I should do a video on the top 5 payware airports for Flight Simulator or Prepared. I mean, opinions would vary, but when I look at these top 5 lists, you have to sit there and go, well, who the heck ranked that? I mean, they can rank it, my opinion's as good as anybody's, huh? So maybe, and you know, make sure that the ones that I think are the top 5 are the ones that I actually have. I'll have to buy them if I don't already have them. But that might be an interesting video, and just cite my reasons as to why. And KSFO would definitely have to be on that list. Flightbeam really gets it done when it comes to detail. Okay, we are taxiing to runway 28. Now it looks like we're going kind of fast, but we're only going 16 knots. Alright, so we're not doing too fast, but you know, we have to make sure we don't let the speed get away from us, because it will. Oh, and what I can do, what I do like about the 787 is we can have our map right here to follow as we are taxiing. Our own personal map for the airport to follow. Can't beat that. I mean, I could follow my electronic flight bag that's off screen, but hey, since they gave it to you, might as well enjoy it. Now, this is the only aircraft that I am aware of payware aircraft that does this or has this feature, but be patient, because evidently PMDG will be having this electronic flight bag for their 747-8, and there will also be an upgrade for their 777. So patiently waiting for that to come out. I don't know if I'm going to say patiently. I'm actually pretty impatient, but you know what I mean. I'm looking forward to it. Alright, so far our taxi looks good. And since I know planes like coming down this way, we're going to go ahead and cross over. So we're just going to pretend that ATC gave us clearance to cross the runway. I don't see anybody coming here. And besides, there's a flight coming in on 28, so I feel safe I can cross over here. Okay. We're doing fine. Now, if you are wondering about my rig and these frame rates, been working hard at getting these frame rates. I am running an i7 8700K, and I've been, you know, kind of getting the tweaking together and finding the best set of, you know, settings. And thus far, I am really happy with what I got going on here. So, okay, we're doing all right here. We have to cross over one more runway, so I think actually we're doing it right now. We will pretend that ATC gave us clearance for that. Alright. And if you're interested, I am actually using is it Ultimate Traffic Live? Yeah, Ultimate Traffic Live from Flight 1. I know Global Ultimate is out now, and I tried using it, but you know what? It really jacked up my computer. So I'm not really bothering with it until they get the bugs out. So I might switch over to that when I feel like taking a chance. I mean, like literally, it was 2 days of reconfiguring my files. After everything it did, I just was like, okay, I'm done. I'm like so very, really done. That's how much they pissed me off when they had it was fine when it was first working. It had a couple of glitches, no problem. I could live with that. No harm, no foul. But Now he's going to taxi this way. I need to be turning here. ATC would have told me this in advance, but you know, whatever. But oh my gosh, when I did that first update, like, Prepared wouldn't even start because of this program. It was insane. I ended up having to uninstall it, and I just said, you know what, whenever you guys get this figured out. Now, they've released an update since then, but I'm not messing with that. I'm not wishing until they're out of beta. Alright, so we are almost, we're going to have to cross the runway to get to 28 right for our departure, but we are almost there. Looking excellent. Okay, we're at 25, so we can't get any faster than this, so let's just make sure we keep an eye on this. Now, I see accidentally my flaps are at 10. They should really be at 5, so let me go ahead and move those back up one. There we go. No planes on approach. Trying to keep her steady on the center line, but this plane, for whatever reason, it could be my rotor pedals, but it likes to drift.
Please be seated for departure.
Alright, they made their cabin announcements. That's good. And we're going to just pretend that ATC has given us clearance to cross runway 28 left so that we can get to runway 28 right. My background scenery, aside from using FTX Global, I have FTX Northern California, which is the land class that's really... Well, first I have land class North America, and on top of that, this region I have... no, I don't have Northern California, I only have Southern California, so scratch that. I'm using Orbx Global, Vector, and land class North America. So I got all of that going on, along with Flightbeam here for the airport. It's just like insanely beautiful. Okay, we'll be bringing it to a stop here, do our final checks, and runway entry procedures. Okay. Okay, so first we'll turn off, let's see here. I have a switch for it over here on my CDU. So we'll turn off that, and we will turn on landing lights. All landing lights are on. That's good. Excuse me. Let's see, what else do we have to have going on here? We'll keep this at 200. And I think, yeah, we're going to zoom this out just a bit because we now know we're at this runway. So we're going to be making a hard left turn. Alright, so we're going to assume that they gave us clearance to enter the runway. We're going to have to jet because there are a couple of planes coming, but we will be long out of here. Clear on the left, clear right. Alright, engage.
Runway verified.
Toga. Let's get out of here. We are out, people.
80 knots.
Check.
Alright. Beautiful airport. So let's keep our mind on what we're doing. Alright, approaching V1.
V1. Rotate.
Rotate. Positive rate of climb.
Positive rate. Gear up.
Gear up.
Traffic.
Alright, they really like you to get a high angle of attack coming out of here like a bat out of hell. But that's alright. We've got the engines to do it. We are climbing out of here. Like quick, fast, and in a hurry. Alright. We will be turning momentarily. Now, I know some of you may wonder, so when is the appropriate time that a pilot might turn on his autopilot after climb? Because it essentially, I think, allows it, flaps 1, allows it to turn on after, I think, 1,400 feet. Well, one day I was in the airport and I stopped at a pilot, talked to a pilot, and they're making their announcements. And I remember I showed him a picture of my flight simulator, and he was actually impressed. He was like, "That's substantial." And okay, we'll get to that checklist in a moment. And I just said, "Well, you know, would you mind if I asked you some questions?" He was like, "Yeah, I have a minute, shoot." And I said, "Well, when do you turn on your autopilot?" And he said, "Okay, that's a good question." So he was saying a lot of pilots will turn on their autopilot as soon as they get above, you know, that minimum altitude. But he said himself, he likes to fly the plane up until 10,000 feet, just so that he can have a feel for the airplane and make sure it's doing everything that, you know, that feeling that just feels right when you're flying it. If you fly enough, as you know, it's just like driving your car. You know your car, and you know when it's doing something it's not supposed to be doing. So he was saying he likes to fly it up to 10,000 feet before he turns on the autopilot. So ever since I've heard that, I try to make it a point to fly my aircraft beyond up to at least 10,000 feet before I engage the autopilot. And besides, hey, you paid all this money for the aircraft and you know, kick-ass computer to fly it. Might as well, you know, enjoy it. Wow, look at that scenery. That is on point. Okay, we're going to be crossing 10,000 feet very soon. So I'll be turning it over. Okay. Alright, we're at 10,000. Go ahead and engage autopilot.
Ladies and gentlemen,
I'll raise the flap.
portable electronic devices is now permitted.
Turn off landing lights. Okay, so we're about to reach our 12,000. What's going on here? Why are we descending so much? Okay. Okay, it's getting it together. Now, we're going to go ahead. I do not know. That might be a glitch. But we're going to go on and get our thing up to 17,000 feet because that is our ceiling. There we go. 17,000. Okay, so we are now in our climb. However, I would say we are not on our flight path, and I do not know why it's doing that right now. It's very interesting, but it's okay. We will handle it. All right, we'll get on a path. Just have to figure out why it's not handling our VNAV appropriately. Well, I see here that the VNAV is crossed out. Have to find out what's going on. Okay, so like I'm really not flying this well right now, but if you'll forgive me that I'm still learning this plane, I'll find out what the heck that is. Now, let's try autopilot once again.
Autopilot on.
Autopilot in command.
Okay, so for whatever reason, it came off, even though the autopilot light was on. So I think it was out of autopilot, even though the light was on, and that's why it was doing its own thing. So maybe they'll have, maybe that's just not just me. That was kind of goofy. I don't know. But okay, we are now almost at cruising altitude. So we can go ahead. Let's check our navs here, and we can we passed this checklist. So I'm not so much worried about, can I move out the way so I can, yeah, there we go. And there we go after takeoff, so that's descent, we'll have that later. And we are at we'll be at 17,000 feet by the time we reach our wayport, so that's looking really good. And now we're almost at top of climb, so we're looking good. Scenery, splendid. My weather is active sky, and I'm using RexForce for my renderings of clouds, so just so in case you were wondering. Okay. So, since we are now at cruising altitude, let's go ahead and work on this while you are here, and let's get our navs ready for our star approach. So, as it is here, we are scheduled to arrive on runway 27. So if we go to arrivals, where we can either do a lock, a localizer, or an RNAV. I think I want to do an RNAV approach. So it says here that we will be coming in on play 1. So let's just take a look. Play 1 doesn't seem to be an option. So maybe we're going to need to instead... let's erase that. Maybe we will need to do a localizer, because the particular star that I was scheduled was not in that option. So... yeah, play 1 is not in the bunch, so we're going to have to come up with something different. So let's take a look in my electronic flight bag over here. Off screen, sound's going to go off for just a second. The 20C. So if I did Lindy East. Yeah, I think we could do that. So that's what we'll do, the Lindy East. It's going to be a little bit of a tight turn, but where is Lindy? Oh, there we go. So this transition, lock it in, and let's just check it out. So what's before that? That would be the FAP. So now, before we do all of that, let's go and look and see what we're looking at here. We're going to switch this over so we have a bigger screen. And then let's look at our flight plan. Yeah, we can just plan and step through. Now this is where things get kind of interesting. So if I can pull back just a little bit so you can see all of it, come down a wee bit, there we go, and let's just zoom in a wee bit more. I'm zooming out, there we go. Okay, so here is FAP. No, that's Kate. And then Lindy is right there. So we want to get rid of FAP. So we'll highlight that and go back. now, if we step through after LAX, we do a nice turn. Excellent. I think we are good to go. I don't know what that little loop is. Let's just see if we can check that out. Let's just step through it again. So, Kate, SNL, name, LAX, then Lindy, then Yoda, then Oaken. Yeah, everything looks like it's supposed to work well. So, okay, I'm fine with that. So we've got our navs together. And now we just have to cruise until we're ready to come down. So I will bring this back as soon as we get to our descent. In the meantime, treat you to some visuals of our aircraft. Okay, we are back and about to reach our top of descent. So we're about to descend into San Diego International. So just got to do a few things here. So we're going to get our VREF, which will be 143 knots, and we flaps 30. So we'll place that in here. So that's taken care of. We've already set up our VNAV to armed to descend the top of descent, and as you can see in our legs, we will be descending at Lindy to 5,000 feet or above, so we'd like to be at 5,000 at this, and then we'll incrementally drop down as we approach. And so since our VREF is 143 knots, we can come here, next page, and at the runway, we can set that to a little bit faster, not by much, but 143 knots. Right there. Okay, so we are basically set for our descent, which will be coming up momentarily. We can look through our descent checklists. Recall checked. Notes. I just told you what my notes are. Our auto brake. I think I said it already. No, I guess I did. Will be level 3. The ref is already, and approach briefing has not happened yet. I'm going to hold off and see if it pops up because it should be triggered by an event. But whatever the event is, it's not this. It doesn't seem to be the same as the events when I would do it in, say, FS Crew with PMDG aircraft. So sit tight. We're about to reach our top of descent, and you will be treated to the cabin announcements by our flight attendant once we start to descend. Coming up on it, so should be any second now. now for the descent checklist,
as well as any
which
other
we already
items
did.
to discard, such as newspapers.
And we seem to be descending appropriately on the glide path. Now, and you see our speed is dropping because we need to be down to 306 knots. So far, so good. Seems that we left very late in the afternoon, so we'll be treated to an evening approach. I don't do a ton of those, so I'm actually kind of looking forward to it. Now, in case you did not know, when you set up your VNAVs, your vertical navigation, your plane is flying a calculated descent to get to a given altitude at a given moment. If you are above or below that slope, you can tell by this little arrow right here. Because as long as you are on the proper descent, that should, be lined up. But you can also be flying it using your flight director. But this would usually be done by the autopilot, so it just lets you know that you've set things up properly and you're engaged in a proper descent. And if it doesn't do that, then there are things that you need to do to correct it, depending on what that is. Just, something to point out. I mean, some of us really hate reading instructions, I know how it is, but you get treated to a lot. If nothing else, I have not done it, and I think it's because of certain familiarity to this aircraft. If you're familiar with other Boeings, you'd be kind of familiar with this. The layout's a little different, but the functionality is the same. But there are tutorials, and I think I'm going to actually do them just for no other reason that, I'll learn something new, a little nuance that I had not paid attention to. But highly encourage that you do the tutorials. Okay, so we're now approaching 13,000 feet, and my speed's not dropping off quite as much as I need it to be at this rate, so I'm going to go ahead and extend the spoilers, which is, as I understand it, appropriate to descend on spoilers if you need to. So now the speed popped back up to 306 knots when it was at 340. That was kind of odd. So when I had that brake all the way extended, it popped up to 300. So I'm going to put it out as far as I can without it changing. Now, why it changed, I have absolutely zero idea. But we're going to just roll with that. Okay, so just making sure everything is good here. 5,000 are above by the time we get to Lindy. And if we extend our range here, and it's coming up. But we're only descending from 17,000 feet, so it's not that far. Should be okay. Now, remember, we will be doing, actually I can go ahead on my EFB, bring up this approach. There we go. So we're doing a localizer approach. They don't have an ILS on this instrument landing on this particular approach. So we'll be locking in with the localizer and dropping our descents until we visually see the runway, and then we will bring it in. It's going to be totally cool. Totally cool. Looking forward to it. So let's just check over here on our electronic flight bag that we have in our cockpit. Did I zoom in too far? Okay. Where did it go? There we go. So I will be coming in from this angle, and as you can see from our electronic flight bag, our approach should be at 2,000. I don't know what that was. I don't even know. Let's just keep it moving. Our approach on the airport will be 2,700 feet. This is actually useful. Now, the wording is a little hard to read. I suppose if I zoom in enough, I could read it, but that's a little faint. They might want to work on that. But it's useful, real information, which is like cool as for all get out. So anyway, let's get back to our descent. And as you can see, we will be going into a cloud cover. So there's a bit of an overcast. This is going to be interesting. Looking forward to it. We'll say that we got our brief. And as we have our approach, we'll do our altimeter check. But so far, everything suggests that we are right spot on as we need to be. And I think I can go ahead and remove my air brake, or spoiler as it were. Yeah, things are looking fine. Oh, we're below 10,000, so let's go ahead and turn our landing lights back on. Our speeds are good. I'm expecting this to be a good approach, God willing, so really hoping so. I cannot even begin to tell you some filming that I did on some other approaches, and for whatever reason in the last waning seconds something went dramatically wrong and I just didn't even want to try to correct it. So this is the best approach that I've had all day. And I've done like 4 flights, maybe 3 or 4 flights, 2 of them being long hauls. But I used time acceleration just to kind of get through them. But let me tell you. Alright, so what is our, we have unable to maintain VNAV descent speed. So that means, yeah, ooh, do not go over. Do not go over, do not go over. Need to get back down. They are dropping like a brick. That's okay. Get back on. You're making me bust my speeds. What's the matter with you? Alright, we'll zoom in just a little bit further. Alright. Now, I want to see where that button is. Do we have it here? I was looking for a data button so that we could see our altitudes printed here, but I don't quite see it. That's fine, unless it's somewhere that I'm overlooking here. Info. Still some things that I'm learning about this aircraft, so alright. We are now comfortably inside the clouds, so no visual references outside the cockpit to what's going on, which is fine. We're trained professionals here. No reason to be scared. Seems to be. Well, let's go ahead and turn on. Light up the clouds a bit. Yeah. Alright. No time for admiring. We gotta pay attention, keep our head in the cockpit. Okay, oh, so we seem to have night lighting coming out of the clouds as we descend. Excellent. Okay, so after this, we should be going to 4,000 feet, so I'm going to go ahead and drop that to 4,000. How exciting! Alright, we need to get down to 205 knots. So I think we're right at the level where we can go ahead and let open 5 flaps. That's going to add some drag. So we should be okay there. Alright, now comes our turn. And we should drop down to 180.
Additionally,
So I am
lesson
going to
video
go
monitors must be
ahead.
returned to their original position. Thank you.
And do our altitude intervene. Drop down to 180. And we are going to lower landing gear. Localizer is alive. So we're going to go ahead and grab that localizer. And we seem to be doing well on the slope, glide slope. And our altitude is getting down. That's good. Alright, and I should be able to let go of the arm, and we are now arming spoilers, so that's fine. Altitude is still dropping. You can see the runway in the distance. Since we're not using ATC, we will just pretend that we got clearance. Our descent is still great. So now we're going to drop it to 2,000 feet, because that is on our waypoint. Excellent. Alright. Our approach seems to be good. We're now getting lined up with the localizer, so that's fine. It's a little bit of an overcast tonight, but it looks like we're going to pull this off. You know, I love the new lighting in Prepar3D version 4. It's much more realistic than it was with the previous versions, much less Flight Simulator. But I'm not here to dump on it, just making an observation. Okay, so we should be... Our glide slope seems to be doing well. Because you know we have a little bit of a hill to have to clear. Alright, we have, where are we in our navs? We're at Sija, I don't know how to say that. Then at Rebu, we should be down to 170. We'll be at Rebu in just a second. Our descent is still excellent.
2,500.
Our next altitude needs to be what? 2,000. Okay. So we are at 2,000. So as soon as it gets there, we will take control of the aircraft and fly this bad boy in. Alright, so I'm going to go ahead and drop this to our VREF and give it full flaps. Okay, we're going to just say +5. Alright.
Flight attendants, please be seated for arrival.
We're almost there. We are aligned, so we will just follow the flight director in. And since I can't see that button... Oh, yeah, actually, I think I can this time. There we go. Where is it? Excellent. Okay. We have control. We are descending. So far, so good. Ah, there we are. It's off in the distance. It's a little faint, but I think we got it. Alright, we need to come over a wee bit. Alright. It's a little faint, but we're gonna fly.
Landing checklist.
We are gonna fly. Alright. Ooh, uh-oh. We're a little over. We're a little over.
1,000.
That's alright. Just bring it over. Bring it back. Bring it down. It's a little dark, but I think we're all right. Yeah, there we go. Ooh, that was spooky. All right, but we're a little over, but we can do this. We're fine.
Traffic.
All right. Are you? Was that plane on the runway? Let's just ignore that. Let's pretend he's not there.
300.
Okay.
Approaching minimums.
Continue. Just ignore that guy. We're not using ATC, so
100.
really should just pretend he's not there.
50, 40, 30, 20,
It's all right.
10.
Oh, ugly, but we rocked it. Okay. And pretend you didn't see him. Alright, that's okay. Alright, so we'll be departing soon, so let's alright.
Ladies and gentlemen, we will be taxiing for the next few minutes, so please remain seated with your seatbelt fastened until the captain turns
now
off
we're
the
off.
seatbelt sign. At that time, please remember
Let's,
to look around your
stop
seating area, in the seat pockets,
here and ask
overhead
ground
bins for all personal
where we're
belongings
supposed to
brought on
go.
board. Please take care when opening the overhead bins, as the contents may have shifted during flight.
And we want taxi to gate. Not the prettiest landing, but you know what? We got it done. Alright, to stand 1024. I'm not sure where that is. Stand 10. What did they say? Yeah, go ahead and acknowledge that. That 10. Yeah, 1024. If I didn't know better, that is across the way, and we are not going to go there. Yes, I am so like totally ignoring you. We're going to try to find it, because that's like a what's the word I'm looking for? Cargo. So we're just going to ignore that. And let's see if you've got something for me. 03 suitable at gate. Heavy. Available soon. I need like now. Gate 8. There we go. Open. And we want to do southwest. Okay. So gate 8 is behind us, actually. Alright, so we're going to have to turn around. They did say 8, right? Yeah, currently gate 8, so that's behind us. We'll go get it. Turn off our... There we go. Got our taxi lights on. Not the smoothest, but that's okay. Yeah, there they are. Okay. Let's turn on the APU. There we go. Let's see, when are we coming in? Almost. Returning in just a second. There's our marshaller. Alright. Just nice and steady. Nice and steady. Nice and steady. And now you're wanting me to come over just now. Something tells me that that line that we have there is not really the line that he wants. Okay. Let's move over. Oh. No, I got time. I got ways to go. Okay. So let's go ahead, raise our flaps, put on our parking brake, and we can go ahead and cut engines because our APU is on. Okay. And at this particular airport, the what do you call, gates don't work, so we don't have to worry about that. And go ahead and ask for deboarding. And so we can look up here and open our doors. Cargo 1, aft cargo. We'll say door 1, door 2, because it just asks for that regardless. And we'll also put on our work lights for outside. Absolutely beautiful. Well, there you have it. We have our landing at San Diego. So I hope you enjoyed the flight. I hope you leave a couple of comments. And most importantly, please leave me some likes and subscribe. I will be bringing more content. Leave me a line and say maybe you want to see me approach on a certain flight from one airport to another. Tell me what airport you'd like to see. Otherwise, I really thank you for tuning in, and I look forward to seeing you in the virtual skies.